Hey camera crew, in today's video we're going to be talking about the top 5 beginner photographer mistakes. If you guys are new here, hi, my name is Lindsay. I'm a photographer in Michigan. I am currently engaged to my high school sweetheart. I have 2 puppies, which you can probably hear them now, Loki and Thanos. So if you would like to join the camera crew, please like and subscribe. So the number 1 mistake that I did myself and I see other photographers do is number 1, know your camera. You know, just take one day and look through your manual. You know, you can look up YouTube videos, you can look it up on Google, look it up on Nikon or Canon or whatever brand your camera is, and know your settings, know, how to change your aperture, your shutter speed, how to tell if there's too much light, things like that. You want to really get to know your camera because it's going to be your best friend. Which, if you have a Nikon D3300, I'm going to be making a tutorial video on all the settings for that camera, so stay tuned for that. I'm sorry if I sound a little weird. I do have a bit of a stuffy nose, so just bear with me. Mistake number 2 that I find is super important is to not shoot on automatic. If you are a total beginner and it is just too scary for you to go to manual, you're like too flustered about it, that's totally fine. But I do suggest, if you are doing photography for business, I would suggest using manual instead of automatic, just because it's going to be so much better. Your pictures are going to be such better quality with manual, where you get to pick the settings that you want. I remember in the beginning I used automatic and the camera picks your settings for you. So, in one photo the light might be too harsh or more harsh than I wanted, and the camera's like, no, this is the best, you know what I mean? So the camera isn't always right, and they're your photos, so you should make them the way that you want them to. And shooting manual isn't as scary as it looks or as it sounds. You just have to really know what aperture is and what shutter speed is, which I did do a video of that's all about aperture, so go check that out if you have no idea what I'm talking about when I say aperture. Number 3 mistake is not planning ahead of time. You want to make sure you plan ahead of your shoot. If you are doing a shoot for a client, or even if you're just doing a shoot for yourself, plan ahead and kind of decide, what poses you're going to want to do. If you're at a certain location where you start in the woods and then you go down a bridge where there's water, kind of plan your photography route and what would be the easiest for you and your model. Or if you're shooting nature, kind of plan your route. Also, if you are shooting a model or, people, plan out some poses ahead of time, because odds are a lot of the time, it's a family or a couple and they don't always know how to pose. So it's your job to be able to say, okay, do this pose, instead of you guys just standing there like, oh, what do we do? Because, 50% of the time your model is not going to know how to pose and they're going to be like, can you pose me? So I would definitely plan ahead of time. That way you can plan out your poses, plan out your route, plan out, what ideas. If you know that it's going to be a family of 4 with 2 little kids, there's Thanos, kind of plan out some poses with 2 little kids, because photo shoots are definitely harder with like toddlers and younger kids who obviously don't want to get their picture taken. I mean, no kid really does. So you want to kind of plan out what poses would work best for them. Maybe you know them ahead of time and you can kind of tell, like, okay, these kids are going to want to run around, so let's get some candid shots. You want to be in the video? Alright, I'm going to keep going. This is my life, just dogs everywhere, so I'm just going to keep going with the video. Mistake number 4 would be to not get overwhelmed. You want to stay relaxed and you want your models to stay relaxed. If you don't get stressed out, that makes your model not get stressed out, and it makes them, you know, more relaxed to pose. They have more fun. Therefore, you get better pictures in the long run because they actually had a fun time, which I think photography is fun anyway, and you want to make it fun. So why not make it fun and not make it like all work, work, work? So definitely have fun with it. Take your time. You know, if there's little kids, play with the kids for a minute. Get them comfortable with you, because also an important thing is to make sure that the kids are engaged in the photo shoot. Ideas to get them to laugh or smile is very important, and it's also very important for the kids to be comfortable around you, because odds are kids are shy all the time, and I see it all the time. So just try and be fun, outgoing, and everyone should be in a relaxed mood, and the photos will turn out great. The fifth and probably my biggest tip would be to take test shots. I used to not always take test shots, and that is like the biggest mistake that you can make, is to not take test shots. Lots of times I'll have my models already in their pose, all ready to go, and I say, okay, I'm gonna take a couple test shots before we're ready, so you don't have to smile just yet. This allows, you know, the models to fix their hair while still being in like the pose that they need to be. They're able to fix their hair, you know, make sure that the kids are all good, make sure they're all good, while I'm getting some test shots to make sure that my lighting is the best that it can be. Also, another thing I like to do is take test shots before the models even get there. So if I know I'm going to be taking pictures on this bridge, I will take a couple test shots before they get there to make sure that my lighting is okay. And that way, when they get here, I will just be like, okay, I'm going to take one test shot. I take one test shot just to make sure that my settings are the same as before, and then we're ready to go. Lots of times that saves time. It is different when, you know, you're going to different locations or like different spots at a location. You can't always test shot every spot. But if you know that you're going to be taking majority of your pictures in one spot, I would definitely go before and make sure the lighting is all good. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something, and hopefully you learn from my mistakes. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.